Good morning, everyone. It's Stephen Whiteside here from theuptrend.com with your morning market outlook for Friday, August 7th, 2026. I'm in a better mood this morning, and we'll get to that in a minute, but stock index futures are above fair value, being led higher by the NASDAQ. Commodities are mixed with crude oil lower, while gold and silver are up on Friday morning. Now, yesterday we got jobless claims. This morning we get employment numbers, and a lot of these numbers go right to the Fed. They use these numbers to help calculate inflation, and we'll have to see if these numbers that come out at 8:30 affect the stock market on Friday morning. Now, I've been talking about we've had website problems for the past week, and it's all had to do with the front end website, the public website, which we don't have any customer information. There's nothing here. It's just a bunch of pages that are available to the public for reference, for educational purposes, and our daily videos. So we were all working on trying to fix this, and it kept going down every time we fixed it, and finally got to the real underlying problem yesterday. Yesterday morning, I got up, the server was down, and once again, and so Amazon gives you the ability to take a picture of what your server looks like, even though you can't connect to it, and even though it's not actually running. So I took this snapshot and I gave it to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT just turned around and said, run away. Take your website, move it to another platform, and get away from this particular box because this box has been hacked. And ChatGPT knew I didn't have the skills to fix this, even with its instructions. You don't want to be going in doing that type of coding when you have absolutely no idea what you're doing. It took a couple hours, but we moved the site to another provider, and we're on a new platform, and we're leaving all of that crap behind us. But it was absolutely amazing that ChatGPT read this image, which I just uploaded to ChatGPT, and it quickly said, no, this is not what we want to be doing. You don't have the skill set. Nobody you knows has the skill set to deal with this, and that saved me an enormous amount of time, effort, and money. So here we are on Friday morning. We have a website. We're back to normality. And on Friday mornings, I like to print off some weekly charts just to see how the market is coming into the weekend, to see if we're going to have to move any long-term money this week. And so far, that is not the case. The VIX is down on the week. That's supportive for higher stock prices. The world is watching the bond market. The U.S. government is trying to stop bonds from falling. This week, they had an inside week and they closed slightly higher. Bond yields also had an inside week and closed slightly lower. And so we're looking at multi-year highs for bond yields. And of course, that is going to put pressure on the Fed. And it certainly puts pressure on the economy with the 30-year mortgage having to continually go higher. Now, what's happening is the US dollar has been going down, but it's still stuck to $100. It's at 99.97 as of last night's close. So no major pullback in the US dollar. They're trying to support the Japanese yen and stop the Japanese government from selling bonds. If they're selling bonds, that's putting upward pressure on bond yields. So the US is over there buying Japanese yen, trying to prop the yen up. And as you can see, since April of 2025, the yen has been falling, and the US is trying to put a stop to that and to help out they probably don't want to help the Japanese government, but they certainly want to help themselves. And that's what's going on right now. Now, the price of gold is up this week, and it may end the week on a buy signal, joining the daily charts already on a buy signal. There's crude oil. Crude oil is down on the week, not enough to give us a weekly sell signal just yet. Then looking at the S&P 500 up nearly 3%, making new all-time highs. The NASDAQ up nearly 4%, not enough to give us new all-time highs yet. There is the stocks or the semiconductors up 6.52%, not enough to give us a weekly buy signal. The TSX making new all-time highs, up 2.58%. We do have the energy sector, unfortunately, pulling back this week over 5%, while the financials are up just over 1% on the week, and we've got gold stocks up nearly 13% on the week. On Wednesday, we had a bearish reversal day in which the major indexes all gave bearish reversal signals. On Thursday, we had a whole additional amount of symbols also having bearish reversal days. So a bearish reversal day is where a symbol opens higher and then closes lower than the open. And remember, that spread between the open and the close is where we find out whether the pros are really interested in something. If something opens higher, that's the only time of day where the public can have an influence on a stock's price. And then what we wait to see is, do the pros pick up on that? Do they outbid the public and rise it up into the close, or do they sell into that higher open and we get a lower close? And that's what's happened over the past couple of days. So yesterday in the Canadian market, it was financials gave up a bearish reversal signal. And you can see I've talked about the fact that this particular ETF was coming up to $100, and I've also talked about the banks. And you can see the congestion that we've had over here. Back here, of course, the pros were in control and we continued to move higher. We're having trouble continuing to move higher at these levels. There's the Bank of Nova Scotia also putting in a bearish reversal signal. A much stronger symbol right now is Manulife. It had a bullish reversal day followed by a bearish reversal day. And so we're watching to see if we get fall through to the downside. And the TMX group, or the TSX, it also had a bearish reversal day. It's had several over the past month and with no follow through to the downside. So the pros are still in control for Manulife and the TSX, and looking to see what happens next. But these are one-day events. They need follow through. They could mark the top of a particular move, but we're waiting to see for confirmation. Now, in the U.S. market, we had an enormous amount of bearish reversal signals yesterday in all types of areas of the market, and I won't even try to fit them all on a page. I just took just a one little shot here and tried to fill them in. But on Wednesday, the Dow had a bearish reversal day, and we did see fall through to the downside yesterday. On Wednesday, we did run up to the next price target and reverse. We had a smaller fall through to the downside for the S&P 500. We're trying to get to 781.25. That is 2 lines up from 750, which was our big line in the sand. The NASDAQ closed lower yesterday, and we're trying to get back up to 750. We traded above it on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then pulled back on Thursday above the 718.75 level. Now, the semiconductors did not have a bearish reversal signal on Wednesday like the rest of the market. The reason for that was on Wednesday, the SMH, for example, actually opened lower than the previous day's close. So we did not get that higher open followed by a lower move down at the close. So yesterday we were trading higher. Now, we've had a lot of buy signals in the semiconductor sector over the past week. What we haven't seen yet is the pros coming back to take control of the sector. It may happen that some individual stocks, the pros have come back, but when I stand back and look at the whole sector, the pros haven't taken control yet. So we do have buy signals. Typically, if you don't get the pros coming back to take control within the first 3 days, 4 days, 2 days, it all depends. But the next couple of days after your buy signal, if the pros do not come in and take control, that trade is probably going to fade away. So we'll be watching what happens with the pros and semiconductors over the next few days. Let's finish off looking at the VIX, and the VIX for the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the Russell, all on sell signals, all comfortably on sell signals coming into Friday's trading action. So options traders are certainly not worried about what's going to happen over the weekend. Okay, folks, that is all for this morning's presentation. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. If you're a member, I'll be back on Sunday. If you're not a member, we can meet back here on Monday morning.
Thanks for tuning in until the very end of today's stock market timing educational video. If you found the content valuable, don't forget to express your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more insightful updates. Remember, in the world of stocks, timing is crucial, and following the trend can be your greatest ally. If you would like more information on how we can help you better time the stock market, please visit theuptrend.com.